Again, Denise here. This is a video especially for those of you who are pregnant. So one of the main things to consider, especially later in your pregnancy, is the potential circulatory compromise. So you probably, if you're going through that, you probably notice that by the end of the day, or maybe a lot sooner, could be halfway through the day, your ankles start to feel puffier and they feel like their range of motion is restricted. Maybe your knees feel like that too, maybe even the hips and the pelvic floor. So it's kind of nice to change direction. So when we do inversion in pregnancy, we do have to be careful that the heart is not like way below, it's not lower than, say, the hips, and then the head is down further than that. So we don't want like a total inversion like headstand, but it's kind of nice to put the heart and the head on the horizontal, okay? Because it's very important to get the legs up in the air. So, you know, we all know this pose of legs up the wall, and, you know, it's probably a little awkward to get into it when you're pregnant. I think if I was pregnant, I would have a much wider bolster or maybe a series of pillows under me so I wouldn't feel tippy. I don't want to feel tippy here. But then once I get my legs up the wall, yes, this could be a very passive, relaxing posture. But one thing you might want to consider is how important foot and ankle movement is to returning those circulatory fluids back to the heart. So what I would recommend is at least one full round of the alphabet. So when you write the alphabet with your feet and ankles, you want to describe each letter, the biggest version of each letter. So I always use uppercase, just kidding. But I want to make them as perfect and as clear as possible. And if you do the whole alphabet, you're going to notice that that is really working the muscles in my calf and shin and my foot and ankle. And what that ends up doing is helping the body pump those circulatory fluids back toward the lymphatics at the hip and then eventually back toward the heart. So it's so helpful for your body, so helpful for when you're starting to get puffy ankles and tight knees. So that is going to happen. You're going to have days like that. So get your feet up in the air and write the alphabet. It's really beneficial, okay? Now, of course, I haven't given you an exhaustive example of things you can do with pregnancy or with yoga for pregnancy. There's many, many resources out there, but this is for you, Annalie. Just wanted to give you some good ideas, all right? If you have any other questions about it, fire them away, all right? I'd be happy to address it. Thanks so much. Bye for now.